I have a brother. You didn't know that. Or maybe you did, but most of you probably didn't. He's my little brother, but he's kind of bigger than me. But anyways, he always gets me into something, you know? You're either tearing my stuff up. He got a free Sea-Doo, and it's like drug off the bottom of a lake. This is disgusting.
Sitting in a yard for probably about 10 years, and some dude texted me and told me to go get it out of his yard, and sure enough, that's exactly what I went to do. Gonna do a sports spec build on it.
The problem is he doesn't know anything about Sea-Doos, anything. So his project is kind of turning into my project, and that's where we're at now. He's got to get something out, doesn't know how, and to be honest with you, I don't even know if I want to mess with it, but that's what brothers are for, right? So we're going to try to get this thing out. So he's having trouble getting this bolt out to get this plate off so he get the fuel tank out and clean out this mess. Honestly, I don't know how we're going to do it. I think it's going to have to be drilled out. So we're going to try to figure that out, see what it's going to take to get it out, and give you guys an update if we do manage to get it figured out. All right, we got it bolt out. He just needed someone to show him how to exactly do it, put a little muscle behind it. But it's out. That thing is gross. What the hell is that?
Like a larva or something.
Some kind of bug. It's disgusting. Probably got all kind of bugs in here. But I think, yeah, you're good. This is connected in the back there some kind of way. Man, this thing is gross. I wouldn't even know where to begin. This is a project, dude. I mean, we got the engine sitting over here.
That engine looks good. I got another one on the way.
This one's junk. He bought a new one, waiting on that. And then some other miscellaneous parts. But you know what? With enough love, we could bring it back to life. Oh, it can happen.
For sure.
It's a gel coat ski, so this should wet sand and buff out a lot better than you think it will. Mechanically, you put a new engine in it, redo everything. It's a lot of work, but for the amount of money that we're gonna have into it, honestly, you can't beat it. Yeah.
So I think I have about $2,000 worth of parts and aftermarket parts, performance parts, and then the hull is free, and other than that, it's just labor.
So $2 to $3 grand in parts to make it perfect. And we're talking UMI steering, all the good stuff. What are we gonna do to get the tank out?
I think the tank just pulls out. Give me a flathead. Oh look, it's already loose.
Oh yeah, take that off and then.
Cause I gotta get a new stem anyway.
Yeah, I have to take that out.
It'll come right out.
The tank's out.
Or brown fuel.
It's disgusting. I wish you could smell this.
Yeah.
Sure, you could smell it from the looks. So that gas in this tank is guaranteed to be older than some of the people watching this video. So that tank, we need to do a deep cleaning on that. And I think you got the rest of the work cut out for you, bro. You just gotta strip it down a little bit more.
Pull all that foam out, pull the shaft out.
Yeah, really not that much work involved to get it clean from here. It's just gonna be assembling it all with good stuff. It's gonna take some time, but hey, it's his project, right? This thing is stripped down as far as he wants to strip it, and it's dirty, but when we come back, this sucker is going to be pretty damn clean. We're going to get rid of all this stuff, and it's going to look good in about 10 or so minutes here. So, and just like that, it's going to be clean, and it's cleaner. So the inside, this looks way better. It's not perfect. I think you could have done better, but we've been here for what, an hour now, and it's still not perfect. But this is good enough to make some good progress with it, wet sand it, and make it actually nice. Way better than what it was. The hull, you can actually see fiberglass now. So it's ready to get loaded up back in the garage. And his next project is to start wet sanding and polishing and doing a minor gel coat repair. And we got it like this. You can see the bottom of the hull, which is honestly in pretty good shape. There's a couple gouges, but that's normal. You expect that on a ski like this that was completely free. So he'll get that wet sanded, fill those in, and this will be looking pretty good. All right, guys, we got some more Supercharger tech tips for you guys today to show that I am not full of shit. Like when I tell you something, It's no joke, I mean it. So this one, by the identification of the supercharger, it's an X Charger, but it has the nuts that are ground down. We know it's a 230 from 2020 and newer. So it's not that old, right? But this is what happens when you don't rebuild them every 100 hours or every 2 years. We had a bearing failure. You could see how badly this thing wants to move. It's pretty much shot. This guy got lucky that he didn't try to keep running it, because we have some damage to the impeller here, but the front housing is actually in pretty good shape. So we can actually replace this impeller and still rebuild it. It's still going to be functional, but look, cracked there, cracked there, cracked there. This impeller is really rough. So look, another crack's almost starting there. The blades are chipped, and that's because of the failed bearing. So we're gonna get this apart, see which bearings failed. Maybe both of them failed. And we're gonna take a look at those bearing cages and see how bad the damage is. We got it apart, and this is like really strange to me. So I do a lot of these superchargers. I say that I've seen it all, but I continue to get surprised. I'm always learning something and seeing something new. This one had a bearing failure. You can see here, the bearing cage failed. So you had loose ball bearings in here and it beat up. Here are some of those ball bearings. So they're no longer really balls. This one's like a little cube. Yeah, so they took a beating, and that's what caused the problem here. And look at the difference in color on this gear. So this clutch washer is normal. This one is black. And they have a few signs of heat here. This is starting to turn black. And that's because when this supercharger failed, it actually pushed into the rear housing, which is strange because the front housing gets the most damage. Pretty much locked the supercharger up, and that's why the damage to the housings isn't as bad as what it is, but the engine's still spinning. So the gear is just constantly slipping, the supercharger can't turn, and you're putting excess wear and heat into the assembly on this end. Now where that gets really dangerous is if you continue to run it, this is going to fail. Either the gear's going to break, a clutch washer is going to fail, and at that point, you have metal debris in your engine. That means the engine has to come out and you gotta clean it. This guy, he got really lucky. The damage to the housing is minimal. There is some, but it's fine, it's rebuildable. You're not going to notice a single performance or reliability issue by reusing this housing. But this impeller absolutely cannot be used. So I've never seen one be damaged on the rear side as bad as this, where it's cracked up. Impeller is even bent around the side and spots. So yeah, this one is completely toast. This is a paperweight or trash now. So we're gonna get a new impeller in this supercharger and come back to show you that, and it'll be like new again. This damage won't affect anything. So this guy definitely got lucky. I just cleaned off all the aluminum and oil out of the front housing. It's like this really greasy substance that coats the supercharger when they fail. You can see where the supercharger impeller did make contact with the volute here. You could see it, but you could hardly feel anything. So this one is still in perfect working order. It's still gonna make perfect boost pressure. We'll never even know that this happened, which is so strange because almost every single bearing failure that I do, the supercharger impeller pushes itself into this volute, destroying both of them. You can't reuse the front housing and you can't reuse the impeller. So this was a really, really lucky scenario. And I think part of that is because when it made contact with the rear housing, that it just locked up and just burned the clutch up. So this one is now running smooth as ever. I still need to set the slip on the back of it, but it's all assembled here. And this one's running buttery smooth now. And you would never know that there's a little bit of damage behind here. Still gonna make boost, still as reliable as a perfectly new stock supercharger. So this was just a super lucky scenario. Now, if you listen to the dealer or Sea-Doo themselves, they're gonna tell you the supercharger is not rebuildable, which we just did, and they're just gonna sell you a completely new supercharger. So this guy, because of the impeller, I am gonna charge him $100 extra because I had to put a new one in here. So $650 versus $1,400 to $1,500, a brand new replacement. And it's all OEM parts. Nothing aftermarket is going in here. So definitely getting a good value, but don't wait for this to happen. Just rebuild it and save you the headache, save the risk of completely toasting it, and you'll never have any issues. If you do your maintenance like you're supposed to do, these machines will run forever. Now y'all gotta check this one out. There's nothing wrong with this one at all. That's what surprises me, is look how clean the impeller is. You can still see the machine marks on the volute here. It is perfect, but we got the gold clutch washers, so we know it's at least from 2008 to 2010, or a minimum of 15 years old. I would love to see what ski this came off of, because I know it's probably mint. Usually when they sit up for a long time and have no run time, they're filthy, they're corroded everywhere, it's been sitting there rotting away. But this one is literally perfect. So I'm sure this came off of a very nice, very clean, low hour ski. So I was just impressed with that. I always like it when people take care of their stuff because it makes it a little bit more fun for me when I do rebuild them. We got another one today that is a learning experience for you guys. This one has the green ceramic washers in it. Now these are really old, so they're kind of grayish now, but they're not metallic. It's just like this very flat color. They're usually a bluish green, or they're supposed to be a bluish green, but because of the age, and I'm assuming these were slipping pretty bad, turned a little color there. But anyways, this one is really old. It's a 215. You could tell by the impeller. And of course these, the 215 was the only supercharger along with the 185 to get the ceramic washers. But this is the major ticking time bomb of them all. This one's really old, probably 20 years old, and never been opened up. Crazy that it survived this long. I'd assume this one's low hour too, but obviously not quite as clean. So we're gonna get this one done and the correct clutch washers in them. Well, that's gonna be it for this week's video. Now my brother did make some more progress on this ski. He started getting all the decals off. I see he has this one left, but most of them he got off. And he used one of those little rubber things on a drill to rub them all off. So you got this to get off, that sticker to get off, the Sea-Doo decal underneath. This really was a time-consuming process, and he still got some stuff left. But this is really old decals. They're baked onto here. This is the only efficient way to get them off is with a little rubber wheel. It makes a mess, it smells terrible, but afterwards he's gonna come back and wet sand it, and hopefully he's gonna do that soon so I can get some clips of that for y'all next week. Now next week's video is gonna be a lot more action-packed than this one. Didn't have a lot of cool stuff going on this week. I did a lot of oil changes, some service, a steering cable replacement. You guys don't wanna see that. But next week I do have a Yamaha clutch change, some Sea-Doo springs and retainers, another Sea-Doo 325s coming to me for some modifications, and another Yamaha FX. Going to try to fit all of that into next week's video, so it should be a good, exciting, and longer video. And I hope you guys are enjoying the supercharger content that I'm trying to squeeze into here. I see a lot of different stuff. I've been rebuilding superchargers for a really long time. Done a lot of them, couldn't even put a number on it. And I like doing them, so I like to fit those into the videos. But that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next week.